you're on a mission and you know that your magic is meant to be spread with the world, meaning you're also here because you're looking to upgrade your money situation. And I so feel you in this. So the thing about money expansion that nobody really talks about, because it's hard to explain it online. We're gonna get really deep here. Are you ready? We're getting really behind the scenes here. The thing about money expansion, when you ask for more, the universe is literally going to push you to your limits. That's because you need to be able to hold this. And to be able to hold this, it means that your nervous system needs to expand. Your nervous system doesn't expand just through energy and, love and light. What happens is you're going to have to be rid of all the lower frequencies in your body that are blocking you from these blessings already. Because you need to be the person that holds these things. And so I share so many insights about this period of time where my business completely rocket shipped. And wow, was that a magical time. Behind the scenes at the same time, I was going through some of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. What happens is, energetically, right when you're about to up level, you are going to get situations that absolutely pull your nervous system to its limits. The magic thing about this is there's kind of a period of time, and this is what I've been moving through. It's like once you kind of move out of scarcity patterns and you start having income flow in your business, it turns more into fun expansion rather than scarcity expansion. But both are still so intense. And so behind the scenes during this rocket ship these months, about 4 or 5 months, where my business really expanded, and then we've kind of been hovering around that 40K month, I had things like nails in my tire. My car randomly almost got towed. I went to go get Korean food, and then my car had a boot on it when I came back, and I had walked in for about 2 minutes to the store. I had people start commenting on my posts online, things that were nasty, and it was a random wave, and then I haven't really had it since. And so every time these things would happen, it would push me to my limits. I had the boot on my tire right as I was, my bank account was getting low again. I had some client payments coming in, but not for another few days. I think my bank account was at about $300, and then it cost $120 just on the spot. And so these things, looking back, each and every time I realized, and to this day, when these moments happen, I realized that each one brought me to a place I needed to be brought to in order to expand, in order to kick me into gear. A lot of times when we think of money expansion, we think, the universe just brings it, but it's actually you're the person that goes and gets after it. Each and every time that I've been stretched, when I've owed amounts of money that felt so expansive to me, especially coming from corporate, each time I was the one that had to be kicked into gear. The universe doesn't just deliver it. And a really good example of this is behind the scenes as I've been expanding with Egypt. This has pushed me in so many ways, and the energetics of Egypt are so powerful. I can't wait to tell more stories once the retreat happens. But behind the scenes, it's been turning me into the person that gets more creative on outreach, more creative on creating offers for people and all these things. And that's what's been expanding me on the back end. So, just because you put something in motion doesn't mean it's going to get delivered to you. You need to be the person that goes and gets it. Every money up level that I've gone through, I was always the one that initiated it. Initiated the exchanges, opened the doors, of course, with messaging. And that's something I teach a lot, especially in social media magic, which is this week, is the fact that we get to write our messaging in a way that allows and opens the door for people to reach out to us. And that has been something I've really shifted into these past few months. But that being said, especially when you're in a certain phase of your business, you're going to be the one opening the doors. You're going to be the one creating the momentum. And a lot of times when we do income expansion, people expect that it's kind of just going to enter their bank account. And there's going to be people who just fly in. And especially as you progress, there are going to be people, I've been getting consistent comments of people telling me they want to work with me. But that being said, you have to be the person that opens that door energetically for them. And that's soulmate client energy, which is butterfly energy, which I've also talked about. So if you're wanting to expand your income, you have to be ready to be tested and thrown to your absolute limits. Get ready for your nervous system to be so uncomfortable. I actually have a story I can tell. Yesterday, I went to an EFT session, and I have been feeling nudges that this is going to be a 7-figure year for Metamorphosis, which is wild because we just had our first 6-figure year. But I woke up after Christmas and just felt this deep, I really got, talk about income expansion. I was very expanded in November and December in some of the most uncomfortable ways I've ever been expanded. Crazy bills, had a subletter for my apartment that bailed on the day of rent, had to pay 2 rents, wild stuff like that. I woke up after Christmas just feeling the 7-figure year. So I've been going to sessions to start tapping into the things that are blocking me from that next level before I've even gotten there. And I had a session where repressed memory came up. And that's the thing. You're gonna meet all of your edges with this. So yesterday I actually brought up, honestly, one of the deepest triggers I felt in a really long time. Oh my gosh, really, really long. I had a memory come up from when I was in kindergarten and just feeling like my contributions didn't matter. And oh my gosh, it dug up this huge hole. And that's the thing. That's the expansion. We always talk about expansion, and then these things happen, and a lot of times people will make it mean that something bad's happening or that they're on the wrong path. And actually that is the path. Your path is the path where shit hits the fan. That is the energetics of 6 and 7-figure soul-led businesses. It's the path that rattles you. It's the path that expands you in the uncomfortable ways. And that's actually a sign you're on the right path, because if you're not feeling those, which is so funny, the past few weeks, it's kind of feeling this breath of fresh air. And sometimes there can be this feeling of waiting for the ball to drop. And these past few weeks, I was feeling this absolute just peace and actual flow. And those periods of time get more and more normal. But I knew that we're about to leave for Egypt in 2 weeks, which is crazy. And I knew that there was going to be about a 2-week portal leading up to this. And it kicked off with the session. And yeah, that's the thing. If you want to expand your income, get ready to meet all of your deepest edges.